Today we celebrate her debut children's book, a kid's book about sun safety. As a skin cancer survivor and sun protection activist, she empowers kids to understand the importance of looking after their skin every day. Originally from Iowa, Michelle currently resides in Los Angeles with her husband, daughter, and son. Please welcome Michelle Monaghan.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Robert. How are you?
Hey, good.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Great.
Great. Thank you so much for coming out and spending an hour and a bit with me here on a Sunday morning in LA. I see so many of my friends here, and it means so much to me that you guys are here alongside. Hi, Jenny. Alongside all of my family. It's really exciting to be here to share a little bit about this book that I've written about sun safety. First, a little bit about myself. I was diagnosed with melanoma in 2005. My husband actually identified it on my leg. It was a mole here on my calf. Thank goodness, we sort of joke around the house that he saved my life. But he really actually did, because I was unaware of what skin cancer was. I wasn't raised with that kind of awareness, and there was just a very little education around skin cancer and what it looked like and how to identify it and how to prevent skin cancer from happening to you. So he found it. It was removed safely, and I've gone on to live a very healthy life since then. But what that experience did was inspire a real deep dive into what skin cancer was, everything, education about it, and ingredient safety, and all sorts of things. And so something that I was sort of bumping up against is when I had children myself. I have a beautiful 17-year-old daughter, Willow, and a son, Tommy, who is 12. But the challenge was how to talk to them about sun safety, but also at the same time telling them to get outside and play, and trying to understand the importance of the sun and the benefits of the sun, but also not making them fearful of the sun, but helping them understand just how powerful the sun is, and in turn empowering them to go out in the sun and make the most of it, but also stay safe in it. So I realized that I knew very little, and my children knew very little, and it was up to me to be able to pass any information on to them. And so there was a disconnect into how to kind of do that, and I saw an opportunity to write a children's book that would help parents understand how to have that conversation with their children, and really have a dialogue, an open dialogue about what skin cancer is. This month is very important to me. May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month. 1 in 5 people will get skin cancer in their lifetime in the United States. But the great thing is most skin cancer is preventable. So this is why I've written the book, to help you better understand what skin cancer is, and how to stay safe in the sun. So I'm going to read just a little portion about this book. The book is really kind of a little bit about my journey, about growing up in Iowa, and kind of how I found out and maybe where I started to get skin cancer. One of the most important things to understand about skin cancer is that skin damage is cumulative. So the majority of our sun damage happens before the age of 18, and that's why it's so important for me to build awareness in our youth about the safety of applying sunscreen and wearing protective clothing every day, because we want to start them young. So first part of the book is my story, and then it's important to keep kids engaged, right? So we talk about the science of the sun. So I'm going to just dive in, and I'm going to read about 10 pages. There's something in our house that we call being sun savvy. So that's a little term that I wanted to incorporate into the book. Let's figure out how I do this. How do I read it? Oh wait, gosh, look at Malin in the back. That's your bestie. Thanks, honey. Okay, there we go. Okay, great. Here we go. Thanks, honey. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right. It was time to get sun savvy. Here's what I learned first. Did you know that our skin is our biggest organ? That's right. Our skin regenerates over time, meaning you're always getting new layers of skin. We never know what our new skin will reveal, so it's important to always protect it. Second, the sun is so powerful. It emits it emits something called ultraviolet rays. These rays are split into two main types, UVA and UVB. UVA causes you to age faster. It can even damage your DNA. UVB causes sunburns and contributes most to skin cancer. Third, did you know the sun is at its most powerful between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. when its UV rays are the strongest? And did you know that even when it's cloudy, like today, UV rays can still damage your skin? I told you the sun is powerful, and I don't want you to be scared of it. Life on this planet literally couldn't exist without the sun. Plants, animals, and all of us humans, we need the sun to survive. But it's important to get just the right amount. So what can you do to stay safe in the sun? Wear sunscreen. It sounds simple, but it's so important. Wearing sunscreen keeps your skin safe from the most dangerous parts of the sun when it shines on you. So before you go outside, apply sunscreen, put it anywhere on your body that will be exposed to the sun, and reapply it every couple of hours. And make sure your sunscreen is SPF 30 or higher. Wear a hat sometimes. Yes, even if you have lots of hair, a hat still protects the top of your head and your face from the sun. Wear protective clothing. When you're at the beach or playing outside, the best way to protect your skin is to cover it up. And then there's one really, really important thing, skin checks. That is what we call early detection. And this is a super easy way to make sure your skin is still healthy. Doing a skin check means looking at any moles or freckles on your skin that have changed or grown over time. Are they uneven? Are they asymmetrical? Meaning, are they shaped strangely? Definitely take note of any new moles or ones you didn't notice before in your last skin check. And be sure to look everywhere. On the top of your head, behind your, sorry. What did I?
Ears.
Behind your ears. Oh my gosh, sorry, I didn't put my glasses on. I thought the font would be big enough too. On your hands and your fingernails, even between your toes. Here's the thing, sun safety is for everybody. If you have skin, sun safety is for you. No matter your gender, skin color, or where you live, sun safety is important for everyone. While the sun is super powerful, so are you. Let's thrive and shine together in the sun. And then at the back, we've got conversation starter questions for you to start the dialogue with your children. This is an amazing book series. I was so proud to be able to collaborate with DK Books. They have a number of different books on a variety of different topics, and so I was really excited to collaborate with them on this very, very important book with me. So thank you all for coming. If you have any questions at all, I'm happy to answer any questions. Skin cancer related, sun safety, yes.
What was your writing process? Because it's kind of like geared like towards kids and teens,
Yeah.
and there's just so much research information. Like, how did you?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for asking. So, when I was diagnosed, this was a long time ago, I immediately started to research what skin cancer was. You know, when the dermatologist told me I had melanoma, I still didn't even know what melanoma was. I didn't know that it was potentially fatal. And I realized that I needed to do a lot of homework. So, and it was actually during COVID when I started to see how great our children are at taking direction and putting on hand sanitizer and doing all these things, and I really consider wearing sunscreen just as important as brushing our teeth or flossing our teeth or putting on skin or putting on SPF. And I really was thinking about there's a real missed opportunity here, because kids do want to learn and they do want to take care of themselves, and I really wanted to empower them. And so I actually just started using my notes app on my phone, and I started to write this book. And then at the same time I started a subscription service to a kid's book about this book series. And that was something that my son and my daughter and we all enjoyed together. And it asks great prompts, and it just opens up a dialogue of a number of different things. And I just thought, you know what, there's so much to learn. Adults need to learn about skin cancer and sun safety, as do kids. And I thought, well, why don't we just create a book that feels accessible, and digestible, little things about this area and topic. And so this is how it came to be. Thank you. Yes.
How often should you see like a dermatologist to get like regular checkups?
You should see a dermatologist once a year for a regular skin check. And one of the things that I also encourage you to do is take pictures of any kind of moles or freckles, and that's a great way to document them and be able to kind of look at it and have access and kind of your own sort of kind of control over it. And you can also then go into the doctor's office and say, hey, I took this photo of this mole 6 months ago, it's changed a little bit. They can take a closer look. But early detection really is key when it comes in terms of a diagnosis of any kind of skin cancer. There are multiple forms of skin cancer. The three that are most common are basal cell, squamous cell. Those are generally removed from the face, the forearms, and then there's melanoma, which is the kind that you really, really don't want to get. And oftentimes you find those in between your toes, on the tops of your heads, on the back of your calves. It's a very common place as well. And so it's just important to kind of have an awareness. And there's something called the A, B, C, D, and E's of melanoma in skin cancer, and those are the color, the diameter, the asymmetrical look, and so all of those things I talk about in the book.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the good question. Anyone else? Yes, of course.
Do you have any recommendations for what to look for in sunscreen?
Yes, so a sunscreen should always be broad spectrum. If it's broad spectrum, it's FDA approved. Always wear a sunscreen that's SPF 30 or higher. That's really important. And try to reapply every 2 hours. Whether it's water resistant or not, depending on what kind of sunscreen you use. If it's a chemical sunscreen, it'll kind of soak into your skin a little bit, and so it's important to reapply sometimes you sweat it off. And if it's a zinc oxide, it'll sit atop your skin and it will reflect the UV rays. So there's lots of different kinds of formats. And what I encourage for kids specifically is, buy a few different kinds of sunscreens, whether they're spray, whether they're stick, or whether they're cream. Find a sunscreen that they want to wear. And if you find a sunscreen that they want to wear, then, they'll be more encouraged to kind of wear it themselves and to apply it themselves. And I often say kind of start their day with it, when they brush their teeth, have them put a little bit on their face or put that stick, and it can be a little bit haphazard, throw it in their lunchbox so when they have snack at school they can just put the stick on their cheeks and just encourage them to start wearing it, and it becomes a part of their daily routine, and they'll be keeping their skin healthy. Great question, thank you. Yes. Yes. That's great. One of the other tricks that I do too with my son, he's gotten a lot taller now, which I can't do, but it's kind of a little hack where I'm like, do you want a face massage? And I turn him around and put his head against my chest, and I put a bunch of cream, and then I just put my hands over his head, and then I just massage it into his face. So he's getting protected, but he's also getting a relaxing massage. So I always find that to be a great hack, because who's going to turn that down? Also, like, put a little muscle into, like, when you're putting it on their arms and their backs, and it feels good, and it's less of a chore for them. So, anyone else? Yes. Yeah, go. Yeah, in the back, the glasses with the hat, with the sun protection on. Great question. Both. Skin cancer can be passed on, and it's also something that is, you may not have it in your family bloodline. So I didn't in mine. I was the first person in my family to have melanoma. I also attribute melanoma to not wearing sunscreen as a kid, but also using something called tanning beds, which I don't recommend at all. Using a tanning bed even once can statistically raise your chances of getting melanoma by 50%. So that is a huge risk. So it's really important to just, even without having a family history of skin cancer, just staying protected, because it oxidates your cells, which means it damages your skin over time. Yes, thank you for the great question.
It was interesting to hear you talk about skin, because I'm a mom of two who are thankfully here with me now, and one loves skincare, puts it on all the time, and the other really struggles with like the consistency and feel of it. So I was wondering if you could sort of talk through that process a little bit and how to help different kinds of kids, especially if it's like hard, they don't want to feel like there's cream on their face or their skin.
Yes, that's a really good question. Ruby, you and I are going to talk skincare after this. It is really hard. I mean, sunscreens come in lots of different formats. And when I mean formats, I mean sticks, I mean creams, sometimes gels, sometimes mousses, sometimes sprays. And so I really encourage just going into a sunscreen aisle and, when they're on sale, because sunscreen is also not cheap, but really talking about what is the kind of texture that you like. What is a texture that you wouldn't mind applying to your skin on a daily basis? And so it's a matter of finding the format that you like, whether it's a chemical sunscreen or whether it's like a zinc-based. And zinc-based can be a little bit wider, pastier on different skin tones. So it's really a matter of just finding one that you're comfortable wearing. And that's kind of just a personal choice, but allowing for options will help set you up for success. Yes?
How do you realistically go about reapplying your sunscreen while having makeup on?
It's a really good question. So talking about different formats, there's also sprays that you can use to reapply during the day. One of the other things that I've noticed is there are a lot of makeup brands now. There's one in particular called CL. You can get it actually at Sephora, but they have an SPF 30, up to an SPF 30, starts at SPF 30 to SPF 50, and there's a lot of makeup now it's powder. So a lot of times when I just touch up my face, I use a powder with SPF, or I use a bronzer with SPF in it. So I feel like I'm killing two birds with one stone, so to speak. But that's a great question, Jada. Anyone else? Yeah. Pardon? Ooh, I have several. So speaking of different formats, so there's every Sunday called, it's by Dr. Jart. It's an SPF 50, it's a zinc oxide. It's really, really great. I use that every morning. There's also a sunscreen, it's a L'Oreal sunscreen called Anthelios, which I really like. There is also just a good old-fashioned spray. Any kind of spray, to be honest. A Neutrogena, I really love the body spray. It comes like an SPF 70. and it's great because it's also water resistant. So that's one that I like to use on the body, and if my kids are on the move, it's a great one to try to kind of spray on them. But also I love a stick as well, because it's really nice and easy to apply to like the cheekbones, and then just using my fingers to tap without kind of messing up too much of the makeup. And I always wear a hat. That's kind of my the protective clothing, and a hat is just like key to my daily. It's just a part of my lifestyle as well. So that really helps with having to reapply every 2 hours, is, you know, just wearing a hat as well. Anyone else? Yes.
There's a lot of messaging about vitamin D in the sun, and do they address that at all in talk to the doctors about how to balance that out?
Yeah, I mean, vitamin D is integral to our health and well-being. I mean, that's undeniable. And I think a lot of people have actually, I know that I do, even I don't get enough vitamin D. I take a supplement for it. I think what's important to understand is that you have to get it in safe doses, and you know, the sun is its strongest between 10 and 2, 10 and 4, depending on where you look. I like to get my sun early in the day. I like to just get my sun rays hitting me when the sun is not that strong. One of the great things that we can use that's a hack that I always is the UV index. It's on your phones. Now, depending on where you live, you can always check what the UV index is, and when that UV index is low, then I'm outside in the sun and I'm enjoying it, because that vitamin D is really integral to our health. Yep, great question. Anyone else? These are all such great questions. I feel like you're all sun savvy. Anyone else? Yeah, that's it. Should we do some signing?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, cool. Thank you, everyone.